I had to adjust the sound setting. Microsoft, sneaky Microsoft, turning down my volume slightly when I'm not looking. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. We've got analysis of subscriber games tonight. That's our Thursday thing. Guys, don't forget to support the stream as Mr. Jim has. Just a few hours. Yeah, it's so hard being ahead of American time now. The time difference makes waiting for the election results like really painful. I don't know how long it's going to take with Pennsylvania. Get Mr. Coffee on the job. But patience is more important than, accuracy is more important than being fast, and that's what I emphasize in chess. So we can learn a lot from accurate vote counting. Don't focus on time. Don't focus on time. Just focus on being accurate first and time second. We need to play bullet chess in vote counting. Alright guys, welcome Jim. Mr. Coffee Astrobate. I've got a list here of the people who sort of sent in games, but it looks kind of thin this week. I've been a little distracted with the election going on this week. Yeah, but I mean, all the experts, who are in the know here think that's going to be changing when we get more information, Jim. You have to understand that Pennsylvania is Mr. Coffee lives there, but it's a state where there's two major cities, and, most of the population of the state lives in those urban areas, so Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, and they've got a lot of votes that are left to count from Philadelphia, from where my family came from, actually. So we should be good to go. Marcher, yeah, you can believe all the fake news. That's fine. Fake news doesn't bother me. If you just, go to any kind of reliable news site, you can find real information. Associated Press, Reuters, the New York Times, Washington Post, just to name a few. The BBC, You can count on reliable news sources. But no, the U.S. election is pretty much going to be a sure thing. Yeah, of course, the Associated Press and Reuters are the best, least biased or whatever. If you want reliable information, just contact the White House. No, I mean, just kidding. But anyway, I'm relieved, and I never lost confidence that it would go the way it did, but we're here to focus on chess. We've got Oliveira Lucas. Listen, guys, I only have a couple of games. Princess Chess, Higuera, Yabatis, and Astrobate. That doesn't seem right. It seems like we should have more games. Let me know if somebody was left out. I guess I'll start with Princess Chess. She submitted the first and the last game in today's list. Oh, Jim, you sent me a game. Let me see. I was pretty distracted this week. More likely to forget than... Thanks for reminding me about my official rating, Jim. There it is. All right. Repun, you sent in a game? Are you sure? Just now? Or recently? We got plenty of room, guys. We got Jim. Repun, you sent in a game? Do you remember when it was? How long ago? I got my flu shot today. That's good. On another note, hopefully I don't start having mild flu symptoms. Better safe than sorry. I don't see anything here from Ripun. Claims to have sent me. But our communications, Ripun, are kind of... You closed your account. I have to look for you. You closed your account? Wait. Yeah, I mean, even if you closed your account, I should still have a message from you. Yeah, no, no games from you. What is this one? Knight takes c6, bishop takes. When was this? The 28th of October. Did we not go over this last time? We went over this last time. Or not? Yeah, we went over this last time. Oh, that's your game with me. You submitted the game you... Hi, Sludgy, please, if possible, analyze this game tomorrow. But you sent me this on the 28th of October. Yeah, I don't think the stream should be laggy right now. I mean, sometimes it's not my lag. It may be that you need to refresh your Twitch page. It actually looks pretty good now. I don't know what that's about. You submitted the game where you beat me last week. Okay, yeah, we didn't get to that. That doesn't count as submitting a game from this week, but that's fine. I just thought I missed something. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Alright, so that gives us 6 games to go over. Yeah, actually our connection looks alright tonight. In the past I've had some lag recently. Actually now it's up again. What the heck? Just as you like foreshadowed this. I've got ping of 700 with a terrible connection. The minute that Ripun said that the stream was laggy. Mr. Chess Manager. I just started. I've got problems with my maybe not the best time for a maybe not the best time for a raid with my ping at 600. I could actually lose the stream here. I don't really understand why I have extreme lag. Any possible reason for it. It's been quite a few times recently. I want to check something. I've got a high ping. That doesn't mean the stream is automatically lagging. But it looks like Ripun is the one complaining. We got enough free space in my computer. It's not my computer. Anyway, whatever. I'm just going to operate as normal. My stream looks alright here. Loophole, thanks for following. We appear to be alright. I'm not encountering any kind of lag. But let's not update every 5 seconds. So, alright, first game is Princess Chess. Most recent submission. I'll take your most recent submission. I don't know if I submitted a game for this week, but here's a game from the streamer battle. In case of plenty of time, yet I outright dropped a piece. Hoppa. Oh, this was against Degen Chess. Alright, I'm going to open this. I got to adjust my chair. It's extremely uncomfortable right now. We got a cheer from WJ Loof. We got a paper bag. Hiding my identity. WJ Loof, 500 for Pennsylvania. And Mr. Chess Manager rated anyway with one viewer. Thank you, WJ. WJ Loof, please submit a game if you'd like to have analyzed for today's stream. We don't have that many. We don't have that many games. Mr. Chess Manager, thank you for the one-man raid. And I'm ready to get started here with Princess Chess. Game, first one. We got a sub from WJ Loof as well. Thanks for reminding me. It was overshadowed by his 500-bit donation. WJ Loof, 16 months. The great state of Pennsylvania. Paschall 9999. Subscribe to Tier 1. 28 months. Thanks for being a regular. Yeah, I've got my... This is actually a measuring glass. Can you see that? I've got beer in a measuring glass. It's like a one... Actually, how much is it? Half liter? It's bigger than a pint. We don't have pints here, obviously. We are ready to go. Beer. Alright, Princess Chess is white, and she's playing a really strong guy. I'm not sure his name, I don't recall it. He's an IM from Australia playing black. This is a very fast-paced game, 3-0. Time control. 24, like, 80 rated International Master playing black against Princess Chess. This is her hallmark, the closed Sicilian. Black played g6. Okay, so this particular move, I've played myself for various reasons. It's Hungarian beer. Highly recommend it. Just like the classic Hungarian local beer. Dreyer. Dreyer is the #1 brand in Hungary. We've got knight c3, g6 now. There's two ways that white can really try to react actively against g6 to try to punish it. The first one is d4. And our own, I'll write it down. So, our own Morales has played extensively this against me. d4, pawn takes pawn, queen takes, knight f6, blah blah blah. I gotta make sure I'm careful about the lag I've got. We better not turn on the engine, because that'll really... No, it's a Hungarian name, I believe. But not a common one. Now, I'm not really sure about the history of that name. That's an interesting question. Dreyer is not, it's not a common name, not one I've ever met anyone else with that particular name, but it may just be a more rare Hungarian name. But this is an aggressive way to play for white, to try to punish g6. The other one is h4. This scares me too. White score here, obviously Carlsen has a game with it. He actually lost to Gusainov, who's one of the better accelerated dragon players who's around. That's interesting. Probably like rapid chess, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's some kind of online game or something. Gadar, what is his name? Anyway, he's a GM from Azerbaijan. Okay, so anyway, h4. This is good. But she's just playing like classical closed Sicilian here. You know, that's very funny that you said that, Oliveira Lucas. It's Irina. It's Irina. Ironic? It's Irina. Must be thinking of Irina Krush, but... Oliveira Lucas just asked me, what do I think of the Mengarini variation against the Sicilian? Ironically, you know, it's so strange, the coincidences that you encounter in day-to-day life. I was literally just talking to somebody about 2 hours ago how I played Mangarini in the New Jersey Open in like 1987, and he was like an old master from New York, and I played him and lost. What is the Mangarini variation? Is that like which line is that? A3? I lost against Mangarini, like completely other subject. I lost against Mangarini with this. C4. I'm sorry, E4, C5, Knight F3, E6, and Ariel played C4 against me. He was like an old master. It was later than 87, I said. It was probably 80, 89, maybe 88, 89. Probably like about 89 when I lost. He played this against me, and I wasn't really well versed on this line. But I'm not recalling now. Which is Mangarini's variation? Is it something with A3? Alright, so we've got classic closed Sicilian now with Knight C6. Why does Black play this move order? He's an Aussie IM. You know, he may be familiar with a lot of closed Sicilian players who like to play the Knight C6, Bishop E5. The reason why I've been employing this move order is because I don't like facing Bishop B5. So I think that G6 is an anti-Bishop B5 move order. G3, yeah, so the Mangarini's A3. Knight F3, or sorry, A3 oftentimes. I like G6 here too. Ironically, Mangarini didn't play the Mangarini variation against me. Whatever that's worth. But I remember being pissed that I lost with Black. He was like an old, one of his last years playing. He was a really old master who was down to around 2200 when I lost to him. Alright, we're trying to focus on the game now. I'm paying too much attention to chat. Bishop G2, Bishop G7, D3, D6. This is standard stuff. Bishop E3, main line. Nigel's short system. It's standard. I probably played this against Princess Chess once at least. So, here, our hero with Black played, actually our hero is white, but Black played E6. Typically Black plays Knight D4. And then I'm not sure what the best move is. This is an interesting move. This is a possible move. Then Black, I think I played against Princess Chess once, like H5. Not just against her. I mean, I've played against some really quite strong players. In Blitz, at least. There was one Finnish IM who I had a lot of Blitz games with back in the day. Pielasalo, and he used to play the closed Sicilian with white like constantly. We had a bunch of games in these types of positions. But the problem is that white can punch through like F4, F5 sometimes. It's not that simple if white's really expert. Alright. This is a classic line though. Knight D1. E6 I'm not sure about. Of course we have to look at D4. Josef Klinger, well known here in Hungary. He's like an Austrian or Swiss. He's actually a poker player. Quite a well-renowned poker player. Friends with a lot of Hungarian grandmasters from the older generation. Friends of mine. But the question is, like, can you play D4? I'm not crazy about E6 either. I mean, it seems unusual. Can white play D4 now? I can't turn on my engine because my lag is too bad. I would probably fry my connection. So we're not going to do that. But I think Princess Chess needs to consider playing d4 here, particularly after e6. Of course, there are issues. Black might have bishop a6. Black might have a knight coming into these squares. Alright, I'm a little bit too slow on these first games, so we're moving it along. Castles. One thing is h5 is no longer as dangerous, that kind of plan. Black is playing very sort of standard stuff here. I remember a game I lost against Attila Parkanyi, Hungarian IM, where I did something crazy. I didn't feel well, and very similar position to this. I think I took on h6. It was horrible. I did something crazy, I took on h6. Dvoretsky recommended playing this way for black, though. It's hard to believe that Jeffrey Zhang was 23-44 in 2013. I wasn't playing chess at all, though. That was probably the least I played. 2010 to 2013. I was almost completely out of the game. Black has to castle. And now black will put the pawns on dark squares on e5 and f6. Generally. There you go. I'm not sure about c3, I guess. White wants to keep control of d4. I didn't completely take it off. I won the New England Open in 2013. I mean, I had played for a Hungarian team. Some games. I don't think I had any years where I didn't play any games. But for all intents and purposes, I was completely just playing a little bit. Just playing a little bit for fun here and there. For a chunk of time between 2011 and 2014, I hardly played, except for the Hungarian Team Championship. There was a 4-year period. All I did was play 7 or 8 games in the Hungarian Team Championship, and that was it. Okay, c3, e5. I mean, black's played very standard ideas here. This bishop a6 is nice, but it might be missed on this diagonal. If white plays f5, black tries to close the position with g5. Maybe we can open it with h4. But frankly, I'm not convinced. I mean, where did we leave book here? If we go back. Another game, Tompi János versus Orsho. Old Hungarian IMs doing battle in their prime in 1979. So c3 is not common. f4 for me is more natural. One might argue that c3 is playing on black side of the board. What would Smyslov do? It's a good question. Knight e3 is the most common, not committing yourself one way or the other. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not convinced about this. The question is, what do we do now? Okay, rook f2. And then d4. I guess this is just a blunder. This is crazy, right? We're just blundering bishop takes d4. Or do you have a tactic? Some kind of in-between move? I'm not understanding how d4 works. Black get away with the pawn chain. Yeah, the pawn chain is good. My concern is f5, knight g4, some kind of kingside things for white here. But I don't understand how d4 works. I guess I expected white to play rook f1. Just kind of try to build there. This is just a crazy blunder. Is there some way we can sacrifice a piece? Because after bishop e2... Like, first of all, can't he just take here immediately? It's a 3-minute game, and he probably, like, just blitzed the move. I guess it doesn't matter. BC is fine. BC, BC, takes... What? Yeah, like, again. I'm surprised by his move order, but I guess it's good. Take, take, and then take. Just a blunder. So, Princess Chess doesn't want to defend down a pawn for nothing. She tries to sacrifice a piece. Plays this. I don't know that she planned this out, but it looks like it's like objectively forced. He just goes back and it takes on f6. This is a tough position. My temptation is to play here. But I guess she has tactics in mind with the undefended queen on d7. It's a lot of material to give up. And black's pieces are all developed. But I figured that white was going to play this. And the nice thing about this is... Well, I'm not sure actually. Black might have queen. Black might not have this capture. Yes. Yeah, this is funny. If you play rook d8, we can take on e7, and if you take on d2, we take on d8. So that's a tough position. I mean, how do you decide in a 3-minute game? Do I take here on d6 or do I take on f6? You like taking on f6 better, opening up the black king, because we have e5 anyway. We're going to play e5 anyway, next move. Here, we opened up the black king. Takes e5 anyway. Now black's in a lot of danger. He could consider giving back a piece. Something like this. 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 And if king takes... Maybe black would be okay based on... some kind of tactical considerations. Just don't know what they are. I just don't know what they are right now. But you're up a piece, you think about ways to give it back. He's in a bad way. Pawn takes. Now knight f5, I presume. What else can he do? His other alternative is to play knight c8. You know, by the way, this move is of course very awkward. Rook e6. Bishop h3. Yeah, I would have been maybe likely to fall in the same kind of trick, but Princess Chess beat me once. It was also a really strong attack in a closed Sicilian. She knows what she's doing here, intuitively. So ed6, knight f5. Yeah, in 3 minutes you think, okay, I'm up a piece. White has some compensation. It doesn't look so bad, but she has queen c3 check. So takes and queen c3 check. Calmly, we have knight takes f5 check, followed by queen c3 check, and we pick up the knight on c6. I don't know if you have better than that, but that looks pretty obvious. If you go here first, that works as well. Absolutely. This also works. Maybe this is even better. No problem. Watch the VOD. Video on demand. So yeah, it looks good. I mean, this also wins. Just take. This is simpler. Just trade pieces first. What's the problem? Okay, there's like a slight disadvantage to the check. Rook f6. And that rook's on here. So this would likely be... Maybe black has good chances to draw. Here we're only up a pawn, you know, and it's not that convincing. Is it possible the initial queen check is much stronger here? The black king has nowhere to go. It's very bad. I mean, in fact, knight d4 loses like immediately to this. I mean, maybe this is black's best, actually. Take, 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 queen f6 or something. Then we drop another pawn here with check. Then rook f7. Our rook's hanging. Not so simple. Even this variation. Check. Here. Queen b8. Queen a1 check. Bishop f1. It's winning. Probably a winning position for white, though a bit tricky, I admit. This isn't so obvious. So Princess Chess, winning position, several different ways to win, probably played this. And the other thing is if black tries to go out, he gets murdered. Or this is the worst one. Like this, this, this. This doesn't look... This doesn't look healthy for the black king, I suspect. But maybe it's not so simple. There's massive discoveries, but I'm sure that it's winning. Alright, Princess Chess played knight c4 in time pressure, dropping a piece, and resigned. But achieving winning position against a good player. WJ Luke, did you have a game? Alright, he submitted a game. Couldn't stay long. Popped in to give me some beer money. Thank you, man. Berserker submitted a game. Alright, we've got enough games now. Berserker. WJ Luke, thanks. You're in the list. Thanks for stopping by with the donation of beer money. Alright, let's go on to the next game. I can't explain my lag. It's down to normal now. Not really sure what's up there. It's probably just my internet connection at random, not being so good lately. Maybe with the lockdown there's more people using their internet at this time. Alright, I've got to move faster. Higuera? Where's Higuera? I can also search my inbox. Alright, Higuera said, "Hi Bill, hope all is well. If you do have too many submissions for Thursday, if you don't have too many games for Thursday, I'd like to submit one. Might now not be able to make it live." Okay. So you're playing the white side, time format 15+10 rapid. We'll try to get to as many games as I can from the ones that were submitted from our subscribers, guys. You think Twitch has issues? We lost our Twitch. Maybe they need to invest more in infrastructure instead of keeping the money. Looks like if you just refresh, you're cool on Twitch. So it's my second Smith Morra I've analyzed today. Not on the stream, but I was going over Smith Morra with black. Okay. You know, I'm not a fan of the Smith Morra, but I accept that a lot of people play it, and I'll do my best. Okay, Princess Chess, thank you. DC, knight takes. Good try, though. Another scalp for the collection. For Princess Chess, if she doesn't blunder there. Knight c6, knight f3. This is actually the line I play with black. d6. And now Higuera played bishop c4, and black played an interesting move here. So I played an Higuera. I don't know if he's here. I don't think he's here. But I've played against Jim and a couple of other people an experimental variation here with black. With bishop d7. Following this correspondence game. What I assume is a correspondence game. Maybe it's not. Bishop d7, and then the idea is to play h6. And possible ideas of a kingside extended fianchetto attacking the knight on g4. So this is something I just sort of invented one day when I was bored. I researched it a little bit, came up with it, realized it's not bad. However, now this is a totally even newer concept, even more hyper modern than bishop d7. On the surface, it looks like an utterly stupid beginner move. But given that white is down a pawn, and this concept of knight g5 does pop up in a lot of variations, it may not be that bad. It just may not be that bad. You know, it's interesting. White could try something extreme like e5 right away. But again, I don't really trust this type of stuff, you know, where you have to trade the queens. Queen takes, knight takes, knight takes. I'm not sure if h6 is enough to give white something here or not. It's possible white has something with the mutual threats there. But I'm kind of like thinking this is playable for black. So I doubt e5 is that critical. On the other hand, like black doesn't have to take. He can also play other moves here. I mean, even e6. h6 is not that bad of a move. So I suspect it's playable. New variation. The anti-Esserman. h6 castles. And now I play bishop g4. Yeah, that's not the plan. Bishop d7 transposes to my variation. We would have this game with Jim. We had this game with Jim already. So castles, bishop g4 question mark. First of all, I mean queen b3 might win material. Secondly, we have to look at bishop f7, knight g5. Those variations don't work, probably. So queen b3. No, I don't see anything, any kind of tricks. We don't have tricks, we don't have this, we don't have this. But queen b3 we have, because it's like a Danish gambit trick, this and this. If black had played a6, he might be alright here. That's the... If you take away h6 and you give black a6, a6 gel, black could play e6, and then on queen b7, knight a5 sometimes. But h6 doesn't help in this case. This is devastating. We'd have to play this, and now you just like eat the pawn on b7. If you've played a6, the control of the b5 square would allow black to have a decent position. But here black is toast. How do you send games in? Telepathic. Tweet by Donald Trump. You send them by presidential tweet. Oh, sorry, snap. Not the president anymore. Not for long anyway. But I'm sure he'll still be tweeting. Unfortunately. Good thing I don't have Twitter. But seriously, alright, princess is finished. We've got a6, very important move, controlling b5. Lulu, you just have to like send me a message to my inbox. Just send me a message on lichess, nothing fancy. If you want, you can send it to someone else in the stream on Twitch, and they can copy and send it to me. Do you know how to send a message on lichess? Just send it to Sparkle Horse inbox. Click on my name. You would click on my name. Like when I click on Igera, there's an option. There's usually an option when you go there to like click their account, click their name, send a game. Alright, so he missed it. He played bishop f4. This is actually a favorite move of Jim. Jim played like this against me with the bishop d7. It's not bad. You're provoking black. However, I think that g5 is actually a positive move for black here. The tempo this gains with the ability to fianchetto is worth the weakening of black's kingside. Or you can whisper it on Twitch. Obviously g5 is a little weakening, but I would still go for it. This is what I would do. Barring any sort of sacks on f7. We have to watch for sacks on f7, of course. But I don't see it. You know, what does white do now after g5? And we're getting our bishop on an excellent diagonal and furthering our development. But black played this move. This is a positional mistake. Just copy and paste, Lulu. Copy and paste into your message. Just like take the mouse, highlight the link, the link where the game is. You guys can help him. And the bishop is buried on g3, so white should probably play bishop e3. I don't play the Mora, but obviously this square is important, and the bishop has visibility in both directions. Due to high fog content in this position, we need more visibility. So bishop is looking both ways, as they say. This is limited. It's kind of shut down here on g3. If it wasn't for the move e5, this might be alright. And now h3, alright. It looks like white still has queen b3, probably. Played a little bit too conservatively. So this is a good move by black, I guess. It's also possible to play bishop e6, though. I would think this would be fairly solid as well. Maybe I would prefer to play bishop e6. The problem is this, just like this bishop can be out of play on h5. Of course, he's got that pin, which is better than you've got. Now you play queen b3. It's ridiculous. It's just like a move too late. Now you play queen b3, he's protected f7. So, only a single threat. Black can just calmly defend. Rook d1, okay. There is a problem here. Takes in knight d4. That may not be possible yet, but I don't know what I would do if I was white. I don't know what I would do. I would probably play like knight d5 here. What's my move? I guess I would play maybe knight d5. I just don't want these pawns to be ruined. If it's me, I guess this may not work either because of knight takes e4. Man, white's got serious problems here. Maybe you have to play like some horrible move now. Knight d2. So you like rook d1, Arsenal fan? Okay, alright. I guess I just have to adjust my mind to the Mora gambit. But what are you going to do? Okay, bishop takes f3. Bishop takes f3, pawn takes f3. Yeah, you've got bishop f7. Now this is alright. Rook d1 is a good move. You're right, Arsenal fan. You're right. Like, rook d1 is not a bad move. He's lining up on e5. He's got... You're right. And then there's no possibility of taking here because of bishop f7. Rook d1 was a good move. Here. Sidestepping those tactics on e5. Arsenal fan, do you want to reveal your secret name? Because I think I guessed who you are. JCS is here. We're having a presidential watch party. Yeah, I'm surprised, Arsenal, because you gave me the hint, of course. The devastating hint, but I really thought, like, that was someone else. I thought that was like a troll or something. But you gave me the hint, like, you have to be Krapnik, right? Arsenal fan is Krapnik. But I wouldn't have guessed that. Yeah, I thought it was like some sort of Norwegian murderer or something. Like a terrorist agent. I thought he was like a troll. No, but Arsenal gave me a huge Arsenal gave me a huge hint. He gave it away. Like, but he secretly changed his flag to Norway to try to throw people off. That was his big trick. This is, oh, you're interested in beer. Antal Dreyer. It's a very famous Hungarian beer. Advertising is not allowed. I get no copyright rights. Your normal account is still chat banned? Oh, you mean like on lichess? You tilted and got angry? Dude, Sargon got sick of me reporting. Wait. I'm not gonna get sucked into this, but what were you in trouble for? Okay, now black needs to be careful here. But everything's protected. Mother of exchange sacrifices, you know what's coming next. This is over. This is so unnecessary. Like, why does black need to play knight to d4? It's so ignorant. Okay, on a bad day, I would make that move too. To be fan. You were banned for A, insulting a racist troll, and B, reporting too many cheats. But what do you mean like you were banned for reporting too many cheats? Chat banned. Has nothing, I mean, chat has nothing to do with reporting cheats. Like when you report cheats, you report them in private messages. I don't need to look at the game score. Rook d4 loses to rook. I mean, knight d4 loses to rook d4. I don't need to see it anymore. Yeah, well, I wouldn't even know like who's in charge of reading the reports for cheaters being reported. I don't know like what moderator or administrator on lichess is in charge of that. But get it out of your system, man. Probably being chat banned on lichess is the best thing that ever happened to you. It's like that horrible ex-wife who left you for her lover. Like, he did the best thing, you know, he ever could do for you to take your ex-wife away from you. You should thank those guys for chat banning you. It's the best thing that could have ever happened to you. Couldn't agree with you more. Alright. Bishop takes f3. Sometimes things that seem like a bad thing are like the best thing that ever happened to you. But we all agree, Asterbate. I mean, yeah, whatever. Arsenal and Asterbate are on the same page, so it doesn't matter. This is winning. You see the convergence here? There seems to be like convergence of all of the white pieces. If I can be like Maurice Ashley or whatever with the football diagram, you just don't need to calculate anymore. How did this go from a crap position to a crushing tactic? I mean, right now black's probably hanging on. The problem is he can't play bishop e7. Only he could get across to their side like the chicken that wanted to cross the road. It's looking like white needs f4 to open it up. So a6. But I think if you're a little more sort of subtle in your approach, Astrobate, you should be able to insult people without getting banned. You know, just be a little more... This is Igera89, one of our subscribers. Be a little more gentle and subtle in your insults. Alright, so what's the win? e5? Kaplam? Black is caught in like a 4-lane California highway, standing in the middle during rush hour. One of those sort of like 8-lane highways they have in California. You're like getting hit. It's like Frogger. Remember the video game Frogger? Black's king is playing Frogger here. Trying to hop across 8 lanes of traffic. There's no way. There's just absolutely no way you can survive this. There's no way you can survive this Frogger, man. E5 is pulverizing. It's like you got every dimension. This dimension, this dimension, this dimension. And we're holding back with that knight. Someone suggested knight b5, but I feel like this is more immediate. It's a beautiful, beautiful win. He's just dead in every way. I can't even imagine what Black's going to play. I guess he has to take. I don't really have a better suggestion. But if you take, it's like bishop takes e5. What are you going to do? Probably this would be the only move I could think of. And then you can start talking about stuff like knight b5. I don't even want to know, you know. It's totally crushing. So he played this, knight takes d4, e takes d4, and knight d5, missing the... cutting off 2 lanes of traffic. Doesn't get to use that. Black can take, and then it's not that bad. He's afraid of opening a file? He was afraid of opening the file, but this isn't convincing, right? Like bishop e7. You're walking away with king f8. So Igera messed up. Not convincing at all after he just trades pieces. This was a terrible waste of time, and now e5 wins again. Though it's not quite as good as when the queen was on c7. With the queen on c7, you can take on d6 with check and take his queen. You know, be attacking his queen at the same time. Now he takes. Now we have like pawn takes pawn double check. Or possibly just take on d5. They're probably both good. Last forced checkmate sequence, the computer says this. Ugh. It's terrible. So, it's all good. This is not as decisive, though. That pin again, that I was afraid of in the other variation, is a bit of a problem, so white can still mess this up. Our rook needs to be protected. Could you play like rook e4 here? How does black defend against rook e4? I don't have the first clue. King d8? King? This has to be winning for white. Can I dare turn on my engine? My ping is back down. Turn on the engine. Yeah, rook e4 is +5, +6, +7. Biden's up by 7.7. 8.4. Do I hear 10? It's lost. How's bishop takes f7? This is good too? Wow, you can't do that. And black has to play king d8, man. That's like one of those messed up tactics puzzles on lichess where they don't even play the right line. Isn't that disappointing? The tactics puzzle like gives it to you, but it didn't even play the line you like anticipated. This is stupid. Like, queen takes f7, like anybody could see that loses. Black has to try king d8. This is the only move. Keeping the pin here. And that's not that simple. It's exactly a perfect lichess tactics puzzle. They'll just stop the puzzle without like giving like the key line that's actually hardest to solve. According to the computer, my idea of rook e4 is best. But come on, that's not the easiest move to find. You're down a piece here, or an exchange. I mean, I guess you could win by playing e6, but it's not a clear win. Anyway, good game for Higuera, although the opening was rocky. Yabadis is up next. I got another game? Okay, Lud. Guys, I'm going to do my best to get to the games. We have quite a long list now, so I don't promise to get to all of them in time. Astrobate, Arsenal fan, whatever your name is. It starts with A. When I realized you were Krapnik, did it make sense? No, I was surprised. What was it that made me think you were Krapnik? Well, yesterday you were talking about, oh, I know what it was. You gave yourself away. It wasn't even your style. You know how I confirmed you were Krapnik? I wasn't that sure by the games. I know you talked about the Slav type structures you like. And I know you like purposely may not have played any Benonis. But the other day, when you told Schieberspieler you played in some of his simuls, but he was like, what? You didn't play in any of my simuls? Then I went back and I researched to see if you had played in Schieberspieler's simuls. And I figured out that it was you. I'm tricky. I use every angle I can possibly find. That's the system. Schieberspieler gave it away by being like, what? You didn't play in my simuls. I didn't make that comment. What comment? Now we have to go back and see. Did you highlight your comment? Let's highlight JCS's comment. I was so up from promising election results that I actually played a few games last night. Alright, next game. I got my flu injection today. Hopefully no side effects. The Russian virus injection though. I mean the normal flu. Yeah, it's okay. You can sometimes throw in some election bashing. I have this meme on my Facebook that some Hungarian sent me. It shows like Jack Nicholson sitting in like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, talking to like one of the other inmates. And he's like, and they put Trump next to Jack Nicholson. And Jack Nicholson's like, so you really think you're the president, don't you? That's a great one. Alright. You could just see him sitting there in a mental institution raving about being the president of the United States and being convinced that he really is. Alright, Yabadis is up next. Ayubates. Now I'm confused. Damn it, Iobates. I clicked the wrong link. I need to find the Iobates chat. How's our lag? It's better. What's up with the lag being okay? I'm in a better mood now that I know that Trump's going to lose. It's not just the money that I bet on Biden. It's the principle of the thing. And it's, I was very upset the other day when I wasn't sure. I never lost confidence, though. You guys know that I was confident. Confidence. Total confidence. Alright, where's Ubatis? The picture of confidence. I gotta type it in. Alright, no game for this week. I played a game pretty interesting. That is the right game, right? DK Guy, thanks for stopping by. I'm sorry I didn't really get a chance to chat with you. But thanks for the mean jokes, and we'll see you next time. Take care, buddy. Stay mean. Alright. That was good to see. DK Guy. The only person teases me more than DK Guy is my son. It's always someone close to you that hurts the most. Alright. Go. DK Guy is... I got it. DK Guy is now going to, take out his frustrations on some innocent minks or something. He's working at the mink farm. His new job. Murdering minks for a living. Alright. That'll take out some frustrations for you, DK Guy. Get a job at your local mink farm. We've got Rapid Chess, Ubatis playing black versus Gusadrin. Alright, we got the black pieces. Ubatis is like the amateur Danish version of Andras Shadorian. Black is okay. I can't do a Danish accent. That's not going to happen. Try to sound like the Swedish chef, but a little different. Very similar to the Swedish chef, by the way. I mean, at least as a Westerner, they sound similar. But, I mean, it's like, if you were them, you're probably like, no way, we don't sound like the Swedish chef. C4, C5, E3, G6. D4. Okay, so now we're going to get, speaking of Swedish, the Axel Smith attack with E3. Everything is connected. I think that we've learned from this election, JCS, that Trump supporters are more likely to hang up on polling people on the telephone than regular people. Bishop G7, D5. This should have been figured out like 4 years ago with the polling phenomena. I ignorantly believed that they would actually correct for that, but apparently nothing was done. I no longer trust 538 predictions. Luckily, we're within the margin of error. Almost. F5. Exactly, mutating minks. DK Guy says we are 4 guys working as a team. He's hinting that he's working for a Russian troll farm. They have a small operation. Quit for 1 December. Can't come to work because of the mink situation. 1 is fired. You're all alone for 4 people. Oh my god. But you get all those minks to yourself. Most people would envy you. Alright guys, so seriously, we've got a delayed Gingy Indian. This is the best Gingy Indian of all time. Now the normal Gingy Indian is played. It's basically d4, g6, c4, bishop g7, knight c3, c5, d5, bishop takes c3, pawn takes c3, f5, and now white's worst move on the board is e3. This blocks your bishops. Max nullification of bishops. Non-existent. e3 with the idea of a3, I guess, would be like the worst possible plan. But basically, what white gets here is a bad Gingy Indian. After d4, bishop g7, d5. d5's a bit early here. You know, I don't know what Axel Smith would say. He wrote this book called E3 Poison, and he's advocating all kinds of setups here based on this. Knight f3, e3, d4, c4, whatever. And yes, white sometimes plays d5. Later. This looks really early. In itself, it's probably not that bad. But after f5, white needs to find some sort of... I like f5, by the way. f5's a cool move. But white needs to find a good move. I don't know. Knight h3 looks appropriate. You can do knight h3, knight f4, h4, h5. I guess something like that. Maybe you could preempt knight c3 by playing queen c2 and trying to play knight c3 without getting the double pawns. And Arsenal, yeah. That's a totally different style. We can play b5. Absolutely. Suvik. Suvik is back. I don't know about that. Too policy-oriented in our political commentary here. Policy. Very loosely. Suvik, you're very loosely using the term policy. You mean like commandment or something like that. There is no policies. Policies have like actual ideas behind them. You're talking about what now? Oh, we're starting with political commentary. Yes, America is much safer with Donald Trump, Suvik. Definitely. Definitely. We're all Trump supporters here. Big believers. I'm going to a betting site right now to put all my money on Trump. You guys should join me. You should definitely get all your money and put it on Donald Trump. And I'm the one who told you to do that. Very, very good odds, too. You could get like 5-1. Trust me. If you believe that Donald Trump is good for this country, put all your money on Trump right now. It's still not too late. I highly recommend it. It's a good bet. Definitely worth the risk. All right, enough. D5. No, F5. B5 is a cool idea. You're going to transpose to an E3 type of Benko transposition. Actually, we haven't played knight F6 yet, and white hasn't played knight C3. But on one hand, I want to say this. I want to say this, Arsenal. Like, E3 is probably one of white's best lines in the Benko. If you play a proper Benko line. Maybe one of the very best variations for white. The accepted Benko with E3. But this is kind of a weird position. You know, black's knight isn't even on F6 yet. This is your game, Yabatis. Welcome. F5, knight C3. It's a tragedy. Takes. Queen A5. And this is like a hollow threat. Just so you guys know. Actually, white would like black to take that pawn. The real plan with Queen A5 is the beginning of a sort of construction of a queenside structure. Maybe d6, knight f6, knight bd7, knight b6, bishop d7, control of a4. I like to use winnower type of plans with like controlling the a4 square for black here. Queen a5. So it's not even necessary to protect the pawn. I mean, I imagine white could play like knight h3, for example. Jonathan Mestel, 1999. I mean, there's a guy who's an excellent player. He immediately recognizes this pawn is not even threatened. We don't need to capture it. We don't need to defend it, rather. You know, this is a waste of time. This is a waste of time. Defending pawn that we don't need to defend. Maybe, yeah, Jonathan Mestel knows what he's talking about. All right, bishop d2. What do you guys think about? Yeah, I agree, Suvik. Safety is important. But it doesn't matter. Like, nobody's going to be able to achieve that much with a split Congress. If the Democrats had won both sides of the House and Senate, like, maybe it would really be a interesting situation. But I think we'll have another 4 years of stalemate with policy. Biden isn't going to give out like commandments, you know. I don't think you'll see that much dramatic change because of the Republican Congress. So I wouldn't sweat too much if you're not a fan of immigration policy. They probably won't be able to enact any dramatic change. Just kind of stop the bleeding as far as America, you know. I'm just happy that America is not going to be a dictatorship. That's all I really deeply wanted. That my home nation doesn't become an autocracy. Hopefully that's not going to happen. But you know, policy questions are not for this chess stream. Bishop d2. So check this out. On c1, the bishop has mobility. It has 4 squares, or 3 squares it can go to. On d2, it has even less. But the bonus, when you play bishop d2, the bonus is that it even gets in the way of your queen on d1. I guess you're improving your queen's mobility laterally here with queen b1. I don't like this move. Here, okay, bishop d3. And now, I was advocating knight h3, knight f4. Here we have knight e2, knight f4. Where is it going from f3? Only g5. And that's a common idea, but oftentimes it goes in here and it gets hacked off by the bishop on c8. That's what happens in the game. Kind of one-dimensional idea for white. I will make an important statement here, and it's not about the American presidential election. As a player who's played for 20 years plus the black side of the Jinji Indian, white's key is getting in e4. Like, if you get in e4 and you get play, particularly along the half-open file, black is not a happy camper here. So, if he can play for e4 in some way by playing h5, maybe e4, then we could talk about white gaining an advantage of some kind. But it looks very unlikely that's going to happen here. Shockingly, there's a game that followed this exact position. Knight bd7. Yeah, JCS, you can read a lot of opinion articles all over the place. It's a bad situation, even with a Biden win. Scary that so many people could enable someone like that and continue to do so. Knight g5. All I can say is things will be interesting. The future is going to be interesting, but there's still hope. The only thing that's positive is that there's still hope. If Biden loses the presidential election, there would be no hope any longer. I would just like renounce my U.S. citizenship straight away. Knight bd7, knight g5, knight e5. This is a key decision for black here. Knight e5 or knight b6. My favorite thing that's going to happen is that they're going to have to take down the picture of Donald Trump in the U.S. Embassy in Budapest. Every time I went in there, I just wanted to, like, vomit. I don't know if that's normal policy. Does anyone else know if U.S. embassies always had the president's picture up on the wall? Or was that something that Donald Trump instituted? It seems like something a dictator would do, you know? I don't remember seeing, like, a picture of Obama on the wall when I went in the embassy before. But the last time I had to do a lot of stuff in the U.S. Embassy, I just saw these pictures of Donald Trump. It was like really living in a third world country. That's crazy, you know? Like, he's serving the state. He's not a god or something. Like, you worship him. I really don't know. I mean, we'll ask Arsenal. Do they have like Boris Johnson's picture up at the British consulate? I mean, is that normal policy? Knight g5. Knight e5, queen e2, h6, here. Knight d3 check. This is sort of sad. I don't know, Astrobate. Yabatis, I don't really want to take this bishop unless I absolutely have to. With black here. At the very maximum, you're taking prematurely. Although I understand, like, there might be e4 issues. It's not possible yet. Yeah, I belong to the UK because my relatives were born there. I'm a British possession. Knight h3. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Bishop d7. Possibly g5 here. To try to make that knight unhappy. I think you have an advantage despite playing knight takes d3 check. It's still probably not bad for black. You're still better. This is actually fine. I'm a little concerned about that pawn. Honestly, you consider rook g8. I don't like tying down rooks to protect pawns, but maybe the timing of this. Maybe you don't want to give him time to play h4. James. You're both British and Norwegian? Oh. It's your Viking blood, man. Knight h3. That's bad, man. What is White doing? I'm going to have to go faster, guys. Talking too much about politics. This is a shocker. Normally I don't make the move e5, but unless I have to, but maybe e5 is good. Black has total control of the position now. The best thing White can do is probably something like f3 and crawl his knight back to f2 and try to play e4 slowly. White's in a really bad place here. This is an interesting move. If he takes en passant, this pawn is not that weak, but c4 sure is. That's game over. So White doesn't take. There are very little threats on the b file in this kind of position. But I don't like knight e4. I think like g4 might be a good move at this point. What do you guys think? I was saying like f3 is a better move for White. I'm going to go with that. Considering this knight has nowhere to go, and your last move was e5, I'm going to go out on a limb and say white should probably play something like f3, possibly f4. But if you really want to be passive, you can play king h1 with the idea of knight g1. But Asterbate, I just like all these A names. Arsenal, Asterbate. Terrible. Yabadis, another vowel. All the vowel names. Why does everybody's name start with a vowel? Dude, you played e5, but you forgot why. Oh yeah, I was supposed to play g4. Now I remember why I was supposed to play. Now I remember, I played e5, so his knight can't go to f4. Alright. It was so bad you didn't even think it was worth a pawn. He was like, that's not even worth a pawn in this position. Knight e4. You're still threatening g4, but now f3. I don't like bishop e1 and f3 coming. Now he played it. The black miraculously survives. f3! Exclamation point. Exclamation point. Take? Oh, you took there? I thought you were going to open the G file. Man, this looks kind of vicious. Take, rook check. Maybe the D rook to bring the queen back. That's nasty. Can I use the word nasty now that Trump's finished being president of the United States? Can I use Trump and nasty again? Because I had erased those words from my vocabulary. Can we start to use that again? Rook h g8 check. And the idea is f4. Oof. I was thinking king f1, f4. But maybe it's not that simple. Our knight is hanging. He takes. This takes check. He run away. That's a possible line that's not that clear. g4 takes, rook g8, g3, bishop versus bishop. Mr. Bishop! I want to watch Mutiny on the Bounty again. That's a great movie. It's probably politically incorrect for some reason, but I want to watch it again anyway. I haven't seen a Marlon Brando movie in a while. Rook f8. Looking for rook f8. But f4. The Trumpy. That's what you say for middle-aged Karens. They look Trumpy. It's like frumpy, but Trumpy. We're just winning a pawn. Now there's this. We got it under control. The bishop pawn. Dominating. Our pawn is stronger. We have the power pawn. And white's pawn. Not good. But Asterbate, why do I keep saying Asterbate all the time? Jesus Christ. Because he's in the chat. Queen e2. Yabadis is taking his time winning this. He's really taking his time. Usually his games are more short and sweet. Godfather. Another great Marlon Brando. Uh-oh. You can take and run away. But I'm not sure what's happening here. What? He doesn't have queen a8 check? I'm a little nervous. You have king d7. Rook takes b6. Queen e8 check, king d7. So it's not enough, huh? You got a very clear route to escape. And you're out. So I guess rook takes b6 is more dangerous. We've got a bishop c8 coming back for defense. Now, if only this bishop could be like a true park hustler, would make that c3 pawn disappear and the bishop would come to a5 in time scramble. Like a magic trick. Man, if I've got bishop a5, magically making the c3 pawn go. Story of the game, bishop on e1. The pawn on e1. Game over. Okay, long games, guys. Sorry, I've been talking a lot, joking around. We're way behind schedule. Asturbate's up next. I've only got an hour left. Asturbate, where are you? This better be a quick one. We got a pep talk plus. Asturbate gives the best online pep talks. If I may, I submit a game for Thursday, in-depth analysis, and I missed a great bishop sack. Alright, Asturbate's white. e4, g6, knight f3, bishop g7, d4. The modern defense. No, it's a Peartz. So I was saying to Asturbate that I think he could play maybe bishop c4 type of setup that he's comfortable with against the Peartz. This is the modern, slightly different, but still. If you don't want to play mainline stuff, being committed to f3 knight is already making white's like aggressive options kind of limited if you're playing the knight f3 early. I tried to explain to Asturbate today, when he plays against stuff like d6, g6, b6, whatever, if you play knight f3 on the next move, you're already limiting your options. But this is an interesting move here, bishop e3. That could be kind of dangerous. Because white could incorporate a queenside castling plan. Possibly. Knight d7. Now, Asturbate has to be focused on the cheap tactic on f7. Now we're threatening bishop takes f7 check, knight g5, game over. That'd be the best if you play like a6 now. Duh. Bishop takes f7 check. Thanks. See you later. He's going to play a hippo with e6, I guess. Someone here has played this against me. I don't really see any other options. I guess black can play knight f6. That looks dangerous, though. Can you play knight f6 here? Again, no. Bishop f7. Yeah, even knight f6, bishop f7, king f7, knight g5 check. King g8, knight e6, queen e8, knight here, queen f7, knight e8. I mean, you're just not getting that back. Is there any compensation? This is just lost. Alright. Black has to be super careful after bishop c4. Wait a minute, yeah. So e6, I guess. Why is there no other games from this position? That's weird. Dude, that's crazy. Black's never played knight d7. Now bishop c4. Wait, what happened? Oh my god, you didn't do it. You missed the sack. That's what you're talking about. I can't believe you missed the sack. This is so up your alley, Asturbate. The whole point of playing bishop c4, and you have it, and you didn't do it. Unbelievable. Lame. You are lame. Now he has like knight g4 maybe. No, that doesn't work. There I go again. Alright, I need a break. He doesn't have knight g4, but his position is fine now. This makes it worse rather than better. Now the white scores are even weaker after bishop f7 check. So astrobate goes for e5. Clearly now we have a good alternative though. Like e5 isn't bad, man. But I mean b6 is question mark. Black is fine after e5. Queen checkmate. This is still good though. Doesn't have any options. Knight h5, g4, knight g8. Black's lost. He's lost. It's totally over. This makes it worse, actually. He should just play knight g8, I guess. Man, this is ugly. Damn, he's losing everything. This is hanging. Take, and now you have even... Oh, I thought your queen was here. You played knight d2. So he has knight g8. But it's still over, right? Bishop f7. Ouch. King f7, knight g5. Queen checkmate. This is a fork. This is a fork. And this loses the queen to knight e6. Damn. There's no move. So the best move is what he did, without exchanging pawns. Maybe he should go here. I guess it doesn't matter, the exchanging pawns. Whatever. Alright, here. Knight g4 is the best move. Takes. Check. Takes. That's the best he could get. That's the best he could get. You're kidding me, like you had 96 or something? Nah. You had queen f3 now? Oh, this. This and this. And this. Okay, it's a natural mistake. You play queen takes g4. So he's surviving. This is under control. Your queen is attacked. He's not down any material. There's a slight problem of his king being open. Black might have some counterplay after queen e8. Okay, so like queen f3, knight e5, queen e8. Yeah, I mean, as unopposed white square bishop. Black's only down the exchange. Of course. This is going to take good technique by white to win. I guess he's threatening knight e6 at the moment, though. Knight e6 will be kind of unpleasant. But I agree, like, it's not that simple. White will have to work to win the game. And now bishop f5. The last move. You have a better structure. Queen e4 was a logical move. We need a safer square, maybe like queen g3. It is a pity, though. Queen a4, queen h4. What do you guys vote for? Where should we put the queen here? Queen f4. Karpov didn't really say that, did he? Alright, I believe anything. Any kind of fake news. Bishop f5, queen a4. Black's hanging on. And then it's just like committing suicide. Leaving the c4 square. Well, obviously black is play e6. Why b3 and not c4? Queen is safer there. So white wins or not? Is this an easy win? Is this a stupid question? Is this a stupid question? Yeah. It doesn't matter, it's over. But anyway, mate in one is nice. Alright. So now we got a couple more games left. Mr. Jim. Jim. I gotta speed it up. By the way, your FIDE rating changed to 2329 officially. Please don't remind me. It's so embarrassing. I thought it would at least be 2330. $23.30 would make me feel like I'm not getting worse. Because for a long time, like 2330 had been my bottom rating. Like since I fell down to 2330, like when I was playing poker a lot at one point, maybe around 2010, I don't remember when it was. Or maybe even earlier. But there was one point in the earlier 2000s when I went that low, but I didn't go below it. But Jim was like, "Oh, your rating's up to 2329." That's, yeah, I've gone to a new low level. All right. Don't remind me about my rating. Rule number 1. Don't make fun of my hair. Don't make fun of Joe Biden. And don't make fun of my rate. Don't remind me of my rating. No matter what you do. Alright. Opponent versus Jim. Alright. Well, at least you didn't submit the London system for yourself. You submitted it for someone else. Beating the London system. Video 1. I'm not a subscriber to D5. It's just too classical. They like that. But I understand it. All right. Now we must play C5. And now we got the old school London. No Jababa stuff. Jim, I don't understand. Why are you not playing B6 here? You like B6 stuff anyway. This is such a good move order. Don't waste time with E6. And try to play like a double fianchetto. This is what I did against Swing Min. Is this like a fake JCS or is that really you? JCS challenged me to bullet. Aha. Haha. No hyper bullet. Haha. Noob. But, you like the proper line too. He is trolling me. Knight f3, knight c6. Oh no, it's like a sort of weird Yababa delayed. Do the Nakamura look up in the air thing. He's been doing that since he was a kid. I know where he must have got it from someone else. You sort of accumulate like mannerisms you see other people do. Ivanov would do that sometimes. Maybe he borrowed it from Alexander Ivanov. They probably played a few times. But this doesn't seem right to me. It's a late knight c3. But I mean, it makes a ton more sense like on the previous move. Doing it now is actually dangerous. Like now white is really threatening knight b5. No, I'm not saying it's great for white, but if you're going to play it like you play it now, you don't play it on the next move. This isn't right. So the point is you can play bishop g4 and meet knight b5 with like rook c8, but I never saw this before. Skomorokian Roman. I played both those guys. Well, Lazarev is rated 2362. That's crazy. He's giving me a run for my money. But he's a GM. That's nuts. He beat me in a Benko, my only accepted Benko I ever played in my life with white. CD4 is okay. You know, I don't know if it's bad. Is there a problem here with knight b5, queen a5 check, b4, queen b4 check, c3? Let's calculate this. Obviously, c2 is a small threat. There's a small threat here. But you could play knight c7 check. It doesn't look kosher. King d8 and knight takes d5. That's ridiculous. That can't be a thing, can it? That's kind of a crazy line. Knight d5, queen d5 check, bishop d7. Castle's queenside, mate. No, I'm just kidding. I assume white is close to lost here. But I'm not right. It's a3. Wow. So this is crazy. Is this working according to the engine? Yes. I mean, come on, man. There's a guy here, Tomislav Rakic. He played queen d2. But I mean, what's the big deal with queen d2? Queen d2, okay. Queen d2, queen d2. Trade queens and play king d8 or something? Take another pawn, yum. What is this? Yeah, he played king d7. According to the engine, black has better. Knight e4 check and king d8. King d7 is the second best move. King d8 is the third best move. But this is stupid. So let's let's evaluate the other moves. So I would be scared of like b4. It's the most forcing. You could even do this. Queen b4 check. This is frightening. Man. But he has a3 immediately also. So Jim, be careful because I'm not sure about this. It looks like bishop g4 is the safest. I've played a6, but I think this is a line. D takes c5, e6, knight a4. I'm not sure how much I like giving up my dark square bishop. Check. This is a big concession, giving up our bishop. This is a bad score. Look how bad the score is. This line doesn't look good. A6 is too slow. But anyway, this is something to think about. If you're playing a computer, they're definitely going to be kind of nasty. I mean, obviously e6 loses. That's a famous trap. So your options are limited here. You know, I don't play knight c6, I guess. When I've played this position, I guess I did play knight c6. Knight c3, though, faced so rarely. I mean, the jury's just out on this, man. It's unbelievable that no one has tried this. If you memorize this really well for white, it could be kind of a weapon. But it's at least a draw, maybe. This is unclear. Anyway. Alright, bishop g4. This is our game now. This is a game I've had. You guys have seen me play this on a number of occasions. Take, bishop g4. I've had a whole bunch of games. It's basically a... You know, it's the normal thing. Bishop e2. I think I had one guy who played like bishop e5. That's horrible. This is just stupid. So white just doesn't know what he's doing. He played that knight b5 inappropriately. Now it's like a good exchange queen's gambit. I'm not sure if you had anything better. In a way, I don't want to attack his knight because he has to move it anyway. Do you have anything better than playing a6 here? I guess just bishop e7. Yes, it is a Caro-Kann exchange variation. I will say one thing. I wonder if you try something like queen b6. Yeah, you got this to worry about. I'm just not convinced by a6. It's the best move. Taking is the best move. We have to be careful, but I guess this is the right approach. Very concrete. But this bishop is dangerous. Yeah, you're doing the right thing. This was the right thing. And then f5 is a weird move. Very weird move. I mean, I think the position is basically like 1 for black strategically. You can also trade on f3 like Arsenal's talking about. Well, it's 1 tactically too. I mean, isn't this just winning? This is just winning. Clear pawn with structural advantage. Jim played f5. I mean, that weakens your e6 base, and it doesn't seem necessary. Just completely unnecessary. It's a crazy move from Jim, actually. Is this really you? He just kind of like was playing quick and made some random moves in fast time control, I guess. Now he like forced you to take, of course. I never saw a more beautiful 2 knights versus 2 bishops, though. White missed his chance to take on b7. Now he's just like getting owned in a closed position by 2 knights versus 2 bishops. There might be chances for white to survive here, but it's ugly. It's almost like Jim was handicapping himself. Like, I'm going to make 2 really bad moves and see if this guy can still have a chance. Was that like intentional? It seemed like intentional mistakes, almost. Let's give him a chance and make it interesting with f5 and h6. Yeah, you're way too focused on trying to attack his king. I mean, he's like lost strategically. Karpov would not have it with those pawn moves. Danger. The e5 square. This is a understandable, but like, I don't know, man. It's just so much more clear after he takes that. It's like b5, put your knight on c4. Okay, he probably had to get rid of it, and then stick the other bishop on e5. But maybe not right away. We can do it later at some point. Yeah, he's wrecked. His queen got trapped. There's a mate. No. You have to take on e5. Oh crap. His queen is trapped. That's why he submitted this game. It's a cute queen trap. Sneaky. Alright, man. Sneaky trap, though. But I think you were strategically killing him anyway. That was nice, though. Just when he thought it was safe to come out of the water. It doesn't look like you can get your queen trapped without so many pieces on the board. He thought he was winning with the mate here and this guy hanging on c6. But no. And not only that, he thought, well, at least I'm better. But he's actually not because of this. Alright, guys. I've got time for a few more games. What are we at? It's 8:29. Ripun. Ripun was like this ancient game from like a week ago. In my inbox. This is painful. It's like a game I lost. His account was closed? No problem. Alright, here it is. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I don't like seeing my own losses. I think we went over it briefly when it happened. Ripun, well, this is his one win against me. It was a rouser with bishop g5. I'm black. We can look at it from his perspective if you prefer. So, queen e2. Dude knows a lot of theory. I don't know the lines with a6 that much, but I'd like to play it. It's never been my thing, but I'm trying to learn, so I played this like Paschall variation in this game. Castle's queenside, bishop d7. But I don't really know the Paschall, so you know, f4 here I'm learning slowly, but I never ever played this for black. So f3, this is the other way white plays, the other top variation. It's more modern than f4. And then out of book, but playing with some sense of how to play the black side of the rouser, because I play like 5 other variations. Bishop e7, I also played the Scheveningen. Now he knows top theory here with h4, even though he was like 1200 or something. And now I'm out of book. So I'm playing on instinct. I played b5, which is second best according to the opening theory. Second most popular move. And now white played g4. It looks like the main line is knight takes knight, and then the other knight probably pops back here, takes its place on d4. This is a standard idea. It's possible you could play something like queen e1, but obviously this is the standard plan to revolve back onto d4. Although I think that trading pieces generally isn't, you know, the scariest thing for black. So this move, I'm out of book, he's out of book, I guess. g4, and now I played a novelty. But it seemed logical, you know, to try to mess up his structure. I played h5. Theoretical novelty. In the Paschall variation, the obscure g4. It's not that bad, probably. So he takes, and I don't know what to recommend. He takes, and again, this knight removal system to d4 might be an idea. But the important thing is he didn't want his structure to get ripped apart. He keeps the pawn on e4 pretty solid. It looks like a carries attack, and then you know, I could leave the pawn. Originally, like, I wasn't sure I was going to recapture this. But after looking at it for a little while, I didn't really think it was a problem. And I might even have tactics here for black. Oh my god. Sladgy. Sladgy, what are you doing? Playing like idiot. Don't know my system. But little do we know, we transpose to a game of the master with the black pieces. Just my instincts were in line with the Paschall mesh there. So now, in this position, Burkic played bishop d3. The father of the system has played a game and lost here. That's not a good advertisement. Paschall has a lot of losses, but he's playing a lot of good players, so... But he has lost a lot more than he's won in this line. That's not a great argument for playing the black side of the Richter-Rauser. But you got to give him credit for sticking with his system. But anyways, this is unthinkable. It's like you might as well cut off your right finger, like thumb or something. Cut off a finger of your hand or something. I mean, this is... You can't play this move. This is positional suicide. Bishop takes f6. You can't give up your dark squared bishop ever, you know, for winning like a major amount of material or something. This is like your best piece. And black's bishop comes to life when you play bishop f6. I was actually quite undecided on which way I would recapture. I didn't really even think about it. Like, this isn't an option. So, but now that you played it, I guess I started thinking, and I was like, well, I guess I could take with the g-pawn. Then he has a passer. G-pawn in the g-file is kind of dangerous. No. Take here. You can have this. I'm trying to remember what I thought at the time. Well, h4 is weak. You know, I have the bishop pair. I expected him to take here. And I guess I might not even have to trade queens, but I could. Black is better. Even down a pawn. So now he plays king b1, and I'm like, okay, well, we're just clearly better now. And I guess I could just take the pawn on h4, but that's kind of risky. And I could castle, but that's illegal, so I decided to play king e7, which was dubious according to the engine. And I don't know why. White makes a natural looking move. And maybe he could try something tricky like queen e3, trying to set up some sort of knight d5 check, I would imagine. He's trying to play f4 here. I swung my rook to c5 because it's aesthetic and fun. h5, b4, and that's a disaster. So, in fact, let's stop for a second. Bishop e2. Is this knight just trapped? You're threatening f4. Oh man, like his knight is trapped. It never occurred to me. Well, it might, maybe it did. No, I don't think so. So this move is just like a blunder. Bishop e2 just loses to b4. And I was scolding like Ibadas earlier for not playing g4. It's the same thing. I just went a piece. So he has to play knight e2, and then this is the classic Rauser maneuver. But he has these other moves as well. He just traps his own knight. I didn't see it. I was too fixated on this fancy maneuver. Again, I didn't see it. No, I did see it. Okay. Yeah, at least I saw it the second time. But he's alert and plays this, saving the piece. So his knight can go to e4. I guess it worked last move, huh? Yeah, it's working last move too. So he's not losing a piece, but his whole position is like falling apart. I don't think I saw that though. Here. Desperation. Take. We've got this handy dandy pawn. Obviously the H pawn is dangerous, but his king is totally opened up by this pawn on c3. And I don't think he should take. I don't know what the best move is, but it's not take. Queen d4. Queen d4, queen f4. I don't like taking. Your king's too open. Bishop d5. h6. I'm totally winning. But I started to panic, or I just miscalculated. I was down to like a minute 30. Here I played a really good game. But I just had a weird blunder. I had bishop takes a2 check at one point. Next move, I guess. I mean, it's starting to get interesting even here. Bishop a2, king a2, queen b6, threatening mate. Hello. Hello. I probably saw this, but then I was like, well, what about that h pawn? You know, that's kind of a problem. I'm not sure this is 100% clear. Probably I'm winning here after rook h8. But one can never knows. And I didn't want anything messy, so I played this, and then I just didn't consider this order of moves. I had to play bishop takes a2 first, killing his last guardian. I don't know what I didn't like c4 or something because it was guarding this. I guess I saw it and I just didn't like allowing c4, although I'm winning. But I played queen a5 instead, and now it's like he's completely okay. c4. I saw this, but I thought I was winning because of queen a3. But unfortunately he has this move, which I missed. I just completely missed c3. And I'm lost. And it's only a draw now, probably. I burned all my bridges behind me and the h-pawn is coming down. And I just missed bishop takes a2. There's probably totally winning. But this is funny. So here I can survive somehow. I can still get my rook behind. So what about this type of thing? In rook c8. I don't think that white is winning. But I don't know how black makes progress. This is a really messed up endgame. I'm not sure. Could be really nasty. But I played this, and then I thought I was winning, and I played queen a3 confidently. And with 50 seconds left, he just defends the mate, and now my bishop's hanging, and he's threatening h6. So I didn't know what to do. This is a problem. The d6. So I sacked the exchange, but I don't have any threats. Actually, I might be threatening rook a4 here, but he just takes. And rook b1. But I guess I'm threatening bishop takes a2 in this position. So what's up with rook b1? Bishop takes a2. It's just not enough. He just takes. Queen takes check. Rook here. Rook takes. Queen takes. Queen a5. King here. I would imagine like I'm lost. Anyway, it was a funny reversal of fortune. Funny for some people. But white played the opening really well. Alright. Welcome to the stream, guys. Don't forget to support the stream and donate if you can. We had a couple subs today. And WJ Loof, thank you for the donation of 500 bits. We're just getting there. WJ's game, the last games for tonight. WJ Loof, Berserker, and Ludlud. I guess Berserker got his in first. We'll do Berserker first. Second game. Alright, Berserker first. Checky toss. I got the joke. Chequitas. Chiquitas. Like the banana. Alright. They're chicks. Very funny. Amusing. Even. So. Last 3 games, guys. WJ Loof broke 2,000 for tactics. Wow. On Tuesday. Nice job. That's going to go far to helping you play better. Nice. That's not bad. So Chequitas is white, Berserker's black. I've played both sides of this. I was preparing a game for last week. Was it this position? So no, I'm thinking of a different line. Never mind. Bishop g2, c6, or d5. I think you should play c6 or d5. Those lines are both good. I'm not sure this is as good. No, look at the difference. Like, white has a slightly better score, but I think this is for a reason. If you want to play the 4 knights English, I'm not sure about this variation. After knight c6, I think white gets a slight edge. Knight c6, knight c3. I prefer to play c6. This is a good line, like d4, bishop b4 check. Very, very solid for black. And another line, you know, of course you can play the reverse dragon, which is fine. But I think this is the worst choice. After knight c3, bishop b4, they have knight d5. I mean, how does they not know this? Is my question. I've played this position for black against Alexander Kallichstein, and he like tortured me. I remember that years ago. But I think I've played some blitz games and some training games. One of my former students used to play the English too. I think I played a5. a5 is interesting there. But I don't like this for black that much. You can play bishop c5. Maybe that's another best option under the circumstances. So white is supposed to be better after knight d5. Theoretically. I would investigate other options, like I said. But she played d3, which is lame. This just isn't dangerous, you know? Obviously you can take doubler pawns. I'm not sure if you have to. Castles is okay. h6 is a move. I don't see any problem with this, but I guess there is a problem that white plays e4 next. If you get an e4, white might have a good game. So that's why people don't like taking right away. Castles. But anyways, this is bad, probably. Bishop d2. Preventing the doubled pawns. This doesn't look right. Just doesn't look right. You might even be able to play e4 or something crazy. You got it, man. You got e4 here. How does this work? Pawn takes. Bishop takes, pawn takes. It's the Gingy Indian. The happy bishop. Again. But the big question will be, can we get our pawn back? Here, d6, rook e8, queen c2, queen e7 or something. Force white to play f3. Stockfish is like allergic to f3. It will not make that move. But let's just say. This is rather instructive. So you like freeze their pawns. I mean, this pawn island looks pretty dangerous. Frankly. This is a very experimental way for black to play, but it looks kind of interesting. Following the engine suggestion, you go out here and you pick that off. Very positional, kind of Nimzovician strategy for black. I like it though. Nizhnik played d5. Maybe that's simply good. The young Nizhnik. Chess dweebs. Obviously this is okay too. Yeah. Because the d3 looks weak here. So this is easy. So you decided to play bishop takes c3, but this is also okay. As long as white's not playing e4, you have a good game. But she can also play e4 at tempo down and get a reasonable position. So you played e4 now? Oh, no way. This is the same gambit. It's just like you're playing a delayed version. Yeah, this is the Stockfish gambit, man. But, I mean, you gotta take. And we transpose to what I was talking about. Exactly. Total compensation for the position. Gingy Indian. Bishops. Nice bishops you got there. I will admit again, like this pawn structure is kind of big. It's a big power, and not to be underestimated. But I still kind of like playing black here. But she played d4. Yeah, I had some games like this against people, man. It's over, right? Like the c pawn is weak. You can gang up on that. It's like a Nimzo, same-ish variation. This is horrible for white. Actually, Morales would like this. Rook e8 may be good. Overprotecting. But we want to get out there as fast as possible. Knight a5. Yeah, it's ugly, man. White is ugly. Ugly. Now you play b5. But b6 is pure and natural. Yeah, this is like Roman style. Bishop a6. Even if they don't lose a pawn or anything, you're just positionally killing white. White doesn't have a bishop. There is no bishop. It's classic Rossalimo, Grand Prix attack, Gingy style. There is no bishop. That's the entire motivation of black's play, to kill that piece. You kill the piece, it doesn't exist, and then you're like up a piece later on in the game strategically. The whole game based on killing one of white's pieces. This is the key. c8 bishop in the Rossalimo, in this case the c1 bishop here. But b5 is still probably not bad. You still leave that pawn on d6, and white has a4 maybe. So this isn't quite as clear, but still the bishop is bad. And you also have an outside pawn here. It's still awful for white. This is optimistic. You weaken yourself a lot with g5. I would prefer not to play that unless I have to. She obviously has this move. Berserker was like asking for too much. Opening up your king here. Yeah, she's smart, man. I mean, g4. g4 is a nice move by white. Maybe she plays the French. It looked like a reasonable thing to do. Taking on f5. The computer said it was a mistake, but I mean, the whole idea is to undermine your center. At some point she has to release the tension. I guess she could have been more patient. Also, there's knight g3. Possibly. Maybe she can blow you up with like knight g3 and there's too much pressure now. Like you have to take and this e4 goes. I'm not really sure 100% what's happening here. I can understand her move. I make moves like that all the time. Now she did knight g3. She's winning the pawn on e4. But I mean, basically, you let the position get too open. You know, I think that's the general idea here. A little too opened up from what I like to see with white having those two bishops, but this one is still contained on c1. So she can take with a knight. Self-pinning doesn't look that safe, though. I mean, I'm not sure what white's doing here. It looks like white can't take the pawn. Knight takes queen g6. She should maybe take your bishop. At least here white's okay, according to the engine. There's another move, cd6. Rook takes b5. I mean, this is crazy. Rook takes b5. This is ridiculous, man. Of course, rook takes b5, rook takes b5, queen a2. Computer. I would just take your bishop, and that's human. Tense battle after that. So you played this, she played this, and you got a rook takes and queen g6? No. No, I was looking at this. I mean, maybe white's holding on somehow. You found the simpler solution. What? You can pin her with queen g6, or even queen f5, and then grab on e3. You're going to win back at least the exchange on e3? Maybe not, because there's queen a2 check. Oh. So it's not as simple. So you have like bishop e4, knight e4, rook e4, queen e4, knight takes c3. Something like this. Maybe. I don't know. What I missed was this. Queen g6, f3, knight e3, bishop e3, knight e3, queen a2 check. That's what's giving me pause here. I'm not sure. I'm not confident in what's going on. Maybe white's better in that position. So that's not convincing. You played a crazy move, though. Rook takes, queen takes, knight takes c3. Well, it's not that crazy. This is what I said. Queen d3, knight b1. This is unclear. It's not that crazy. And now the white king is totally open on the white squares. But how do we finish her off? Still, the bad bishop is like dominating the knight on c4. It's not easy to checkmate white. Material is equal. No, I don't know. It's very difficult to get the rook in to attack. But we got to draw. What I want to say is, like, I think the way you played this game was good, but it felt like you were too focused on some sort of attack against white when you should be focusing on strategic play. Killing the bishop on c1 wins the game. Like, you don't need to go crazy with g5. You're already clearly better strategically, and you need to just like keep your advantage and increase it instead of playing for like more attacking chances. You kind of gave her counter chances, you know, and I think like her position was very bad strategically after the opening. All right, next game we got Berserker, WJ Loof, and Ludlud. Last game's guys got to go. I know that I missed tactics and stuff like that. That was a very deep tactical game. I want to do WJ Loof next. Sorry I couldn't really stay long. Really just popped in to give... Yeah, we read that already. So, he's back. Blitz chess. WJ Loof with white. Massacre in the making. e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4. Okay, open Sicilian. What's black's rating? 1500. You know, just a little higher than you. It's nice to see theory, you know, real opening theory at this level. So many people play like crazy stuff. What's up, World Loser? I'm not really paying attention to the chat right now because I'm trying to get through the last games, more or less. If anybody said anything important, I missed it. A4. The Kamsky variation. Kamsky has a cool line. If knight c6, you play a5 and sack a pawn. He did that against Paschall in one other game I did for a video. It's a cool idea. Yeah, a4 is a good move to kind of get these Najdorf people a little bit off their favorite territory and avoid mainline theory. After e5, knight f3, you can transpose to other variations with like bishop e3 possibly. a4 is constructive, it slows down b5. You can maybe set up with bishop on c4 here. That's what you did. So here's an interesting point. Could black play like bishop e6? This has happened, but not many games. And white goes knight g5. Bishop goes away, or he gives up the bishop to knight g5. Interesting. Just something to think about. What do you do if bishop e6? Here, best move. Good job. If you play too passively, you get nothing. Like bishop e2, black's fine. You got to play actively, controlling the d5 square. That's our focus here, primarily, is maintaining a strong grip on d5. It's a very positional line, what you're doing now. It's not meant for like attack. We're playing a safe, solid line where our focus is just maintaining like an advantage in controlling the d5 square. I remember like Anand playing this game. One game I saw really well with white against a weaker player. h3. h3 is useful, controlling the g4 square. Not really a weakness. Looks like a good move. So we're following a couple games there. This is not typical. You know, most people who play the Najdorf aren't going to put their knight on c6 because it blocks the c file. So I think that black has options here. I wonder about b6. Could black play b6, bishop b7, like knight bd7 and knight c5? I mean, b6 may be an alternate development of the bishop. It may not be bad. I'm not an expert, though. I don't play the Najdorf. h3. But I think knight c6 is a bit curious. This looks like you're trying to transpose possibly to a... It could transpose to a Boleslavsky type of thing. Like, I don't know. Bishop c4 against the classical or something. Castle. Yeah, now knight a5. This is a logical move where black is trying to get the bishop, to shake the bishop so he gets control of d5. But I mean, in this position where you can play bishop a2, If you didn't have the ability to play bishop a2, I mean, this move might be better. Problem is his knight is bad. That's why we don't play knight c6 in the classical with black. In the Najdorf, certainly it's always going to d7. Paschall le Grave, and I mentioned Anand playing this kind of stuff with white. This is like the best Najdorf player on the planet. Probably. Not a big deal or anything. Paschall, I would say. But that's a matter of opinion. You see, these guys played bishop e6. This young guy from Kazakhstan or whatever, he's on the Kazakh Olympic team. Bishop e6. I think if bishop e6, we don't really want to take unless you have a clear tactical plan. Bishop a2 you could play. Bishop b3. Queen d3. Queen e2. Good player with white here played queen e2. With queen d3, maybe we don't like that knight hitting our queen with knight c5. Anyways. Alright, so we got knight c6, castles, knight a5, bishop a2, b5. Free pawn or not? No. This is an interesting move. And this guy is what? Not bad. I mean, he's 1500. A very dynamic move by black. It looks like it's not possible, but it might be possible. But let's investigate further. If we take, he takes, we take, and then the e4 pawn is hanging, but we try to win with a tactic here. WJ Loof is working on his tactics. But I don't know about this. He has other moves, like pawn takes, knight takes b5. We're a little disorganized. And I think like the simplest solution may be bishop b7. Now it's just double attack and no way to protect it twice. At the end of the day, it could be a very strategic struggle, like take, bishop takes, bishop d5. You own the d5 square for a very long time here. Maybe that's enough for a serious advantage. But it's not a big advantage. It's like a kind of lasting slight advantage. Can we really convert this control of d5 to a win? Not sure. You know, white's queenside pawn is kind of dangerous. So what did you do? That's a very surprising move. Okay, before I go any further, I just want to mention one more thing. Like, after this move, it's possible J. Loof was afraid of this. It's another variation we have to calculate. Maybe you're right. Maybe bishop a6 is... I mean, it's likely that you can't take on b5. The conclusion is that bishop a6 is too strong. Okay, let's think a little more. Queen e2. Possible. Schieberspieler likes material. Queen b8. c4. There's some creepy variations here that are making me nervous. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight b3. Just as an example, this could happen. So we lose the exchange. I think this position might even be not that bad for white, but I'm not going to guarantee it. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, but bishop d2 just doesn't seem strong enough. It's passive. It's not that bad. I don't know. I understand you're looking at that knight on a5, but it's kind of a weird move. Bishop g5, maybe. Be prepared to give it up. Like, take, here, take, and then dominate the d5 square. There's no pressure on e4 now. Maybe we are better off doing that. And I swear I didn't look at the analysis here. The analysis is immediately... I know how accurate I am. What's up, someone on sound? It's rewarding to like not look at the analysis, in all honesty. Donald Trump. I swear on Donald Trump that I really didn't look at the analysis. I swear on Donald Trump's presidency that I didn't peek at the analysis. I vow a solemn oath. Thanks to God, man. Bishop takes f6. This was the best line. But you know how you can find this plan, WJ Loof? It's all about d5. That's our anchor. That's the key to our position. He plays a brilliant move. Okay. You know, maybe you shouldn't have taken on b5 because it opened up a lot of issues, by the way. You know? Maybe you shouldn't have even done this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Position became a lot sharper after takes. What's up, Cormoran? This is a passive move. But you know why bishop g5 it's so important? It's defense of the e4 square. This is another way of defending e4. It's an active way of increasing our defense of d4. Eliminating attackers is the same as defending. Alright, someone on sound. We can all come out of the like depressive cave that was the last 4 years. Slowly. I feel like a bear that was in emotional hibernation. Poker and election results could keep you quite busy. I hope you got your money in good. Bishop d2, b4, knight d5, and there you go, the e4 pawn. That can be sacrificed in some cases though. Maybe we have a tactic, knight e7, queen e7, bishop d5, knight d2, bishop a8, knight f3 check. There's a complicated line here. Wow. Yeah, first thought was this, but it doesn't work. So let's just go with the line he played. This is pretty good. I mean, you've got the two bishops. Your bishop worked out. Kind of a crafty little trick there. Knight c6. And you got bishop f7 check. Is that too much material or not? It's not, right? Do we have a problem with queen f7? We have a problem with queen f7. He has 3 recaptures. Rook takes, leaves the c8 bishop loose. King takes, leaves his king loose. But queen takes may not be a problem. So what's our line in this case? d5 is covered. We take the rook, but he's taking our bishop. You have a fork with queen e1. Do we have this? This is how far you need to calculate. Probably. In amateur level chess. But let's say this is how far you literally need to calculate. It looks like it might work out. It's equal at the end of the day. I'm not sure you should have. Angry Dragon, thank you for subscribing. Oh man. Putting Biden on it November 3rd at 7:30 p.m. I wish. I think I was asleep, unfortunately. My money went in April. But I didn't get odds that good. B3. Yeah, all my sports betting friends who bet on the election are happy. Well, the ones that are friends of mine. Anyway, let's see what happened. Bishop f7 check. Rook f7 blunder. So now you take and c8 is loose. That's a good job. But I don't know if you evaluated queen f7 or not. Now you have material advantage. This is a trade. Now you have the b4 and the threat of knight g5. It's not clear if that's really a threat or not. Because black has rook f5. But it looks close. It doesn't matter though. I mean, you're up a clear exchange. I don't know about c4. You probably have something better here. But it's good to focus on d5. Nice. Very nice. Nice tactic there. Finishing black off, a rook up. Good job. You missed the queen takes. Yeah, that's tough. There's 3 recaptures. Alright guys, last game. Ludwig, thank you WJ Loof. It looks like you're making progress. Not a bad game. Actually, one of the most interesting games we saw tonight, in my opinion. We got Uber Driver versus Ludwig. I should read the commentary here. Nice job. Let me see that again. What did you say? Your game against Uber, not the first one that I sent by mistake. Okay. We got white. Last game, guys. We're black. Last game. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning for more election results. Nah. For more chess. And, it is my game against Super, yeah. So, don't forget to support the team. Cormoran's here sometimes. Good to see him. He's a strong player. Plays on the Panda team at times on Sundays. Thanks to all you other guys who chip in. Just don't forget to sign up because our team is in the Sunday streamer battle at 3 p.m. CET. Last game for tonight, guys. Ludwig against a solid Uber driver. So he played knight c3. That's an annoying move, but something you got to be prepared for if you're going to play this move order. I would say I go with bishop g4. That's me personally. I don't play the Philidor. You can also play the Pirts. But White could toy with you if you play the Pirts. He could play like a whatever London system Jababa move order, like delaying e4, I guess. You played c6, so this is a hybrid. It's a hybrid of the Pirts and the, well, it's a check defense. I don't know too much about the check defense. A Hungarian I know, Big Endre, did an article or something about it for some, maybe new in chess. He was collecting a lot of games and information last year, or in the spring. I guess it was this January. He was telling me, I don't remember, Akobian Verusian was an expert. There's not that many people who are like experts. This is strange though. I just mentioned Verusian and Petrosian Tigran shows up with 3 games. That's not a coincidence. It's an Armenian system. Bishop d2. But it's like a kind of like better version of the... It's a better version of the the check defense. I mean, if you play the check defense straight up, if you play it straight up, you know, e4, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3. I mean, c6. I play f4. It's the sharpest move. The fact that white's knight is on f3 acerbate restricts white's aggressive options. So it looks like bishop g4 is the main move here, but not a pure check defense, really. Well, I guess anything with c6 is technically the check defense, or Pribble variation if you prefer, named after the Czech master. So bishop d2, bishop g4, bishop e2, knight on bd7, castle. I mean, this is a good opening to play if you have the time to put into it. I think that people playing white don't know what the heck they're doing. That makes it what would be a kind of not so great opening, a kind of useful opening that can be better than its reputation. I don't know if these discoveries do anything, but this move sure ain't good. I mean, we got problems. You can't just trade on e5 and give up your strong point. White has no advantage anymore. This bishop just became enhanced. It's a disaster, man. The Skavadingen, the check defense, the Philidor. You exchange pawns on e5, and now bishop's like a super piece. White has nothing. Now, I kind of like think you have a choice here. You could commit and trade your bishop and settle for like a solid position with dark square, with good dark squares. White is guaranteed bishop pair, but it's a crappy bishop pair, you know? This bishop sucks. It's not that good, you know? I admit, like, maybe down the line, white's bishop pair might be alright, but the symmetrical structure isn't optimal for the bishops. No, I mean, white should never exchange pawns if he can help it. So h3, you took. I think it's option. You know, there's an option to play this probably. I mean, what's white gonna do? Is he gonna play g4? That's pretty awful. I don't see how white can do that, unless there's some sort of tactic here. You certainly don't have to exchange on f3, but it's safe. And now bishop c5 is like advantage to black, I would say. That's just me. Computer loves bad bishops. Man, the computer's even admitting that white is slightly worse here after bishop c5. Arsenal is of a different opinion. But I think that white maybe, yeah, just worse. It's like a bad King's Indian attack. Instead of h3, knight d5. What's our idea? And here? Interesting. Yeah, this is an interesting idea. These bishops are shifty. They have good diagonals. G4 is hit. You solidify this. You have knight f5. It's a nice idea. If I don't take, then you have this square, which is really annoying. But I am a little concerned about how white protects the e4 pawn. Apparently it's good. You don't protect the e4 pawn. You play this. That's a cool idea. That's a nice maneuver. The white bishops are a little enhanced there. This exchange is bad, though. h3 is passive. But trading off the dark square bishops is black's key plan. This is like second best. Maybe like 2 knights versus 2 bishops in a closed position. Of course, bishop e2 is bad. White should turn it into a fianchetto pier. It's like maybe g3, bishop g2, a4. Petrosian did this, by the way. Someone like plays bishop b4. I have a nice Petrosian game where he played knight b1. Something like that. But here it's no longer possible because this pawn is not protected. Bishop e2 is a bad move. Now it's awful. Awful, awful, awful weaknesses all over the place. It's like seismic weaknesses on the dark squares. It's awful for white. Yeah, I mean, if it was me, I would just play like bishop c5. Confident that black is slightly better, maybe more. I understand b5. To stop bishop c4 becoming a factor. It's interesting. I don't like knight b6 that much, but it's not bad. This reminds me of some King's Indian attack games I had with white. Of course, I would never have those dark square weaknesses, but this bishop is really sad. See those bishop pair, arsenal. Bishop pair is just raking the board. Those are optimal, especially this e2 bishop. Crushing bishop pair, massive advantage for white. He's just grabbing space at random. This is a problem. Can't allow that. But it's basically like a standard King's Indian attack where white's bishop, the white square bishop is good or bad. Dark square strategy. That's classic. It's like King's Indian attack stuff again. And now you can just what? Queen c5? This looks really, really nasty. You drop a piece, sorry. I guess just queen e6 then. Nice positional play on the dark squares. This is crazy. The queen is on b1. What did you play? Knight d7. That's the one problem. Is it good though? You have knight takes b2. And you just have a4. It's ridiculous. Yeah, he's lost. Just hung all his pieces. It's over. No, it was a classic kind of dark square control game, but I liked it. I thought black played much, much better than white did. There were some points where maybe you could have played more accurately, you know, bishop c5 immediately. I don't know, but I mean, overall it was a good game. Move 11 just subscribed, resubscribed. Tier 1, 41 months. The founders. Alright, Cormoran, thanks for dropping by on Sunday if you can. Thanks, Move 11, for subscribing. Good classic anti-King's Indian attack game. Dark square control. I gotta go, it's late. I will see you all tomorrow. And thank you for having faith in democracy. Take care, everybody. Thanks to JCS, Mr. Coffee, for you guys being mods. We have multiple mods. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Pond us happy. Keep the bets coming in.
Hey, get pretty good odds on Donald Trump. Bye-bye.